Hello everyone and welcome to Civ House. I'm Rob, and in case you've missed it, we've been trying to go over all the different patch notes that we are starting to get for Civilization, and if you can believe it, there is a third patch for patch 1.0.1. Yes, we are only one day into the actual release, the official release, and we're already on the third patch. There's a lot of things that they needed to change about this game, and they are starting to make some of those changes. Before we dive too deep, I'm going to ask, if you haven't done so already, that maybe you would consider subscribing, as we are, putting out Civilization content on a daily basis, whether it's Let's Plays, news like this, guides, a lot more to come as well as we continue to dive into this game. So if you enjoy Civ, and if you feel like things like this are going to help you enjoy the game more, we would ask that you would subscribe and that you would like, because that helps us out a lot, and we want to continue to grow this community that we're already starting to get attached to. You guys are awesome. So that's especially for those of you who are first timers. If you've been around for a while and haven't been subscribing already, then, well, hopefully I can do something that'll convince you. But let's get into this. Let me know in the comments below as well, real quick, I guess. What do you guys think of these patches? This is my first time looking at these, so bear with me as we look through them. But yeah, what's going on here, right? There's a lot that's happened over the last few days, and the patches are getting pushed out pretty regularly, it feels like, for Windows PC. Now, this happens on some games during launch. Normally you get one big patch and that's about it, but it feels like, Civ and the devs are really trying to push out as much as they can basically every day right now. I don't know if it's going to stay that way, but we will have to see. And do remember that this is separate of console. So if you are a console player, I'm sorry, but none of this, from what it looks like at least, none of this, yes, I can say that officially, is going to be coming your way. So I do apologize for that. Obviously, it's not up to me, but they did separate things for a while. I think crossplay is going to continue to be very far behind. It would not surprise me if we go most of this week, potentially even this month, without full crossplay. So keep that in mind as we move forward, but let's get started. They're going with stability stuff, general stability improvements and fixes for Windows PC. A lot of different things that can mean, but what that generally means is that, you're not going to have, hopefully, as many glitches, as many crashes, stuff like that. That's pretty standard in the industry. Nothing to really talk about there. Gameplay, though, here we go. Bombers can now deploy nuclear weapons when packed into an aerodrome, carrier, or squadron commander. Previously, only on heavy bombers could do so. So that's a big change, because a lot of people were complaining about not being able to use their nukes after getting them. Well, guess what, guys? Now you're going to be able to with your bombers. You don't have to wait for heavy bombers. It does take away a little bit of what made heavy bombers unique, in my opinion, but hey, you know what? If it's going to make for better gameplay, great. I'm not a huge modern player yet, at least. I have dabbled, truly mostly dabbled in modern gameplay so far. It's mostly been antiquity and exploration. I am going to get to modern more significantly here as time goes on, hopefully even this week. But I can tell you that I did notice this, and I'm glad that they are making that change. Addressed an issue where some users reported experiencing specialists being removed from settlements when confirming the legacy cards from age transition. That is a weird glitch. I can't say that I noticed it, but I've also, again, really only started diving into specialists lately. As my games start to get deeper and deeper, I've got like 5 games maybe going at once right now, playing all of them and trying to learn new things, specifically about leaders and whatnot, with a big focus on antiquity. So working on that, and specialists, I think are awesome. They're a really good way to make this game better, and I'm glad that they are at least fixing that issue. I wonder how they were able to do it if only some users reported it. I wonder what the connection was that they made there, in terms of why only certain people were and certain of us weren't. I don't know, or maybe I didn't even notice. Addressed an issue that some users reported experiencing where the 300 gold from discovering a natural wonder while playing as Isabella was not granted. I saw this on Reddit or Twitter, can't remember which one. Yeah, that would be really frustrating. That would make Isabella quite literally F tier if she can't even get her big 300 gold bonus from discovering a natural wonder. I still question why a flat bonus like that is in the game, just because of the fact that like that's going to do a lot more in quicker games than later games. I don't know why that's not scaling. Maybe it is, and I haven't noticed that as well before, but yeah, I guess we'll have to see. I haven't played as Isabella. She doesn't necessarily hit my stereotypical way of playing, the way that I like to play normally, so she's somebody who I'm going to have to take a deeper dive in with later. Addressed an issue that some users reported experiencing where the factory was unavailable when a distant land settlement was connected to a homeland settlement in the modern age. Okay, can't say I experienced that either. I think I've only built a couple factories so far, so and I don't even remember if they were in distant lands or not. Can't say I had that problem, but glad they're fixing that as well. Addressed an issue where some users reported experiencing where sea trade and rail connections sometimes failed in settlements where the city center was not adjacent to the coast. So that is good. That is definitely something that needs to be addressed and make sure that it is fully supported the way that it needs to be, because sea trade and rail connections, especially later in the game, obviously, are extremely important. And, you know, if it's failing in settlements where the city center is not adjacent to the coast, that's not how it's supposed to be anymore. That's old Civ. That is not current Civ. So I'm glad that they're addressing these things. As they stated here, you know, these are big gameplay things for people. You know, not being able to get your gold, not being able to get your specialists in the places they need to, not getting what you need to from the factories and the trade routes. Like, these are big deals. This one's just a nice one. I think one that they listen to us and they're like, okay, yeah, we'll make that change. It doesn't seem to be, too much of an effect negatively or positively, hopefully. More just like I don't know, even just a quality of life improvement in my mind. But the UI, they continue to add to that. Continue to address, wow, okay, didn't even read this part. Continue to address alignment issues some users reported when playing in simplified Chinese. We will continue to make improvements here in future passages. I still think that there are alignment issues in general, even in English. So I don't know how simplified Chinese is working in terms of the game. Just like I don't play in simplified Chinese, so I'm sure that there are alignment issues. I'm still noticing them even in my game, where they kind of like, they want to go do something else, and then they kind of find their way. They snap back into where they're supposed to be in the menu, and I feel like that needs to really be worked on. Maybe this will help too, like improved font scaling in the civilization and tech tree screen. I have not obviously played yet since this has been announced, but that was definitely driving me nuts. Improved image and font alignment in the city details menu. That absolutely needed to be worked on. Glad they're doing that. Improved spacing and alignment on the war declaration screen. Dude, these are things that I'm surprised were shipped the way that they were. You may not even notice it now when you play, but like the city details menu and the war declaration screen were definitely weird. It just felt like, again, it felt incomplete. It felt like it wasn't polished. And these are, starting to polish some of these major UI issues that a lot of us have had. Addressed an issue that some players reported experiencing with navigating the Civilopedia search results with the controller. Haven't played with the controller, but hopefully that will help all of you who are. It's weird that they're doing this. I guess they have to do it for PC, and then maybe they'll put it in for console players later, who, most console players are going to be using a controller, I would assume. Addressed an issue that some players reported experiencing where the unique quarter description appears cut off when viewing in the building breakdown screen. Dude, there's a lot of text that's cutting off, so I guess maybe this is happening in certain situations right now for unique quarters, but there's a lot of text in weird spots, and it's getting cut off and not fully like centering itself. It's weird. So another nice little update here. Addressed an issue that some players reported experiencing where unlocalized text appears when viewing the nuclear weapons available warning pop-up in the modern age. Haven't gotten to this yet, so can't speak on that, but I'm glad that they're, again, polishing that. Improvements to the age transition spend point screen. What does that mean? because there's a lot that needs to be done in the age transition spend point screen, in my opinion. I'm excited to go in and look and see what that looks like, see if I notice a major difference, because age transitions, again, are still a little painful for me personally, but I'm hopeful that these changes will help. Added a notification for when an enemy attacks a player's unit in single player. Dude, thank you. How this was not, again, shipped with the initial game is incredible to me. I would like to know when that's happening. I'm glad that they've done that. I hope that they will continue to add notifications. I don't care if they're slightly annoying for some people. Like, that's a big deal. I literally had a unit that got attacked, and I had no idea. Like, if I wouldn't have gone to look for my scout, I would have had no idea, and it would have been killed. It just would have been. So, glad that they are putting that notification in. There's a lot going on in the game. You need notifications sometimes. Improved the performance of city detail screen when viewing a large city. I've had some pretty big cities. I think there's a lot to be done on the city detail screen. We've seen it pop up twice here in just these patch notes, so we'll have to see if that makes a big difference, but hopefully it will help. Improved progress bar information consistency. HUD progress wheels go to the right, or go the right way now. Okay. I don't know exactly what that means. I'll have to look. But, in the progress bar, the legacy menu specifically was something that I've had a big issue with. So I'm hopeful when I go back and look in the game soon that this will be showing things in a much easier, better way for me to be able to make sense of it. The escape key can be used to back out of the independent power screen. This should be able to be used for everything. I've been noticing that I can't, especially with settlers, it's been driving me nuts that I can't hit the escape key, or I don't know, hit the right click or anything, or left click, I guess it would be, on a regular basis, to be honest with you. I would like the escape key to do a little bit more. I used to do a lot. Now it seems to do very little. But this is still good. All right, last one here, at least for the UI. Added building icons to the plot tooltip with their status. Added wonder icons to the plot tooltip with the gameplay effects. Made resource icons larger on improved tiles and smaller on unimproved tiles. Thank you for the inspiration, Sukratak. I guess that's somebody who I should probably know. I don't know why. I feel like I know that name. Sorry. But either way, this part may be the most important part of this whole patch. To be honest with you, building icons to the plot tooltip with their status. Huge. Wonder icons. Really nice. Made resource icons larger on improved tiles. Thank you. Now you have an idea of a better idea of what's there if you're using it. Like, especially if you're running with yields on in your games, like, this will help so much. They need to do a little bit more with this on the map, but I am glad. This is a big step, in my opinion. Maybe you think I'm overstating this, but very happy with that. Again, please do not murder me for this lack of knowledge. I apologize. Still learning some of the content creators for Civ 7. I really only followed a couple up until the last, couple weeks, to be honest with you. So, yeah, apologies on that. Last one here, miscellaneous. The correct citizen character set is now being displayed for Korean independent powers. Okay, so I guess maybe that was something that had happened. I don't know. I wouldn't have noticed that, but I'm glad that somebody did. So, look, it's not a lot. Okay, it's mostly stability, it's polishing, it is adding, I think that is so big, the icons needed to be fixed, but I'm glad that they're even addressing issues that they're not seeing in everybody's games, but in enough to where it's a problem. Like, again, this 300 gold for Natural Wonders for Isabella is like a very important, potentially main part of her kit, I would say, and not being able to do that makes... Like, you could put a ton of time into a game, like even an hour before you run into a natural wonder sometimes, right? Depending on what's going on in your game. It's not normally that long, but it could be, just depending on how much time you want to take, all this other stuff. And I can't imagine doing that, playing as Isabella, knowing you want to find a natural wonder, finding it, and then not getting the gold for it. That sounds awful, to be honest with you. That would make me rage quit very, very quickly, especially from that playthrough, potentially from the game for that night. So big stuff there. They got to make sure that the leaders and civs work properly. I'm glad they are addressing that. So let me know what you guys think of this update in the comment section below. As always, Connor and I are going to try to keep you guys updated. So hopefully this is, finding its way to you and being helpful. So that's all I can ask for. But that will wrap it up for us on this little news update for patch 3 of 1.0.1. So from our house to yours, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join us for one more turn.